What's up, guys? Okay, not only is today an awesome day because I got some new baits to show you, but I'm also going to tell you how to use them, where to use them, and what time of the year to use them at. So let's get right into this, and let's get down and start talking about these baits. Real quick, guys, check this out. This is Follow the Action Outdoor Lines. They have some awesome designs for clothing. They're all hand-drawn. Please go check them out. You can use code UNREAL and you can get a 20% discount. I'll put that back down in the description. It is code UNREAL, 20% discount, and that actually helps me a ton, and I would greatly appreciate that. So if you go check them out, it is linked in my bio. The first bait, or baits that I have, I guess I should say, are Gear for the Greatest Big Bruco worms. If you guys haven't heard of these, you're about to, because they are awesome. Gear for the Greatest is an awesome company. They make hard plastic and soft plastics, and they really have some awesome things. But I have been digging their big Brucos. I got them in two different colors. This is their green pumpkin color, and I also got it in a smoked shad, which is probably my favorite out of the two. This one is awesome. So, what do I have planned for these worms? Well, spring's coming right around the corner. When spring comes, you get a little more vegetation on the lakes that we're used to fishing because that cold has finally died down. So, these worms are actually fantastic for pitching. You can put a bigger and more durable hook on them. They still work fantastic with a heavier weight, and I'm super excited to be pitching them into heavy cover. I'll also be finesse fishing them, dragging them across the bottom, and even some wacky rigging. Check this out, guys. Like, holy crap, these things have action. They're already a fatter bait, so they're fatter at the top end, shorter at the bottom end. And like I said, this is smoked shad, this is green pumpkin. These are extremely versatile bait. You can pitch them, Texas rig them, finesse fish them, drop shot them, and they're awesome. And actually, as you can see, they got these cool little ripples and divots along the body. And that actually makes it so these worms have more action on their falls. They have a really cool spiral fall. And even when you're just twitching or bouncing them across the bottom, an all-around awesome versatile bait that everyone needs for their spring tackle box. On a little side note about these worms, not only do they have some awesome action because of those ribs, but they also have a scent that could be detected from 10,000 miles away. I mean, that could choke a goat. This is a strong scent, which is going to get those bass coming in to absolutely slam these things. Big Brucos, Gear for the Greatest. What a bait. The next bait is the Googan Squad Junior Contender. This thing is absolutely awesome. Let me just see if I can get out of the packaging. These companies and their foolproof packaging. There we go. So, this is what it looks like. And it is freaking awesome. It's a double jointed, so it's got 3 different parts, 2 joints, glide bait. And I am so excited to be throwing this spring. It's in the bluegill color. It's got some extremely sharp hooks. And that color is so beautiful to me. Like I said, this is bluegill color, Googan Squad Junior Contender. If you have not tried these out, they're awesome. Let's talk about what I have planned for this glide bait. This glide bait I have planned throwing this spring, mimicking bluegill, obviously. Reason for that is bluegill baits are fantastic spring baits. The bass are now getting hungrier, they're protecting their beds, and they're feeding on bigger forage, and it is an all-around perfect bait for this time. Where do I plan on throwing this? I plan on throwing this in rocky bottoms, slightly covered bottoms. I obviously don't throw it in thick cover. You got these giant trebles, but glide baits work really well either on rocky bottoms or in breaks in cover. What that means is you have really, really thick cover, whether it's big logs, falling down trees, grass, whatever it is, throw this on the outside. If it's grass, work it on the weed line barely. If it's logs, cast it up close to the log and pull it to you. What that will do is jerkbaits actually, they're an action-based bait. Although color is important, their action is everything. They kind of do this really cool snake-like sort of motion, okay, as you can see through those joints. And they glide through the water, and you can twitch them, and that will make them do his darting action. That darting action works the same as a jerkbait. It makes them go forward a little bit and kind of symbolizes an injured bait fish, which is why these are awesome for getting bass on beds especially, because the bass are a little bit more sluggish, they don't want to eat as much, and this will honestly destroy it. You, of course, can just steadily crank these. You can just crank them in, they'll do that cool little snake-like motion, and they will still bring in bass. Another thing you can do if you don't want to jerk it is you can actually change your reel speed. So you can be reeling steadily and also add like a quick jerk or a quick change in speed and start reeling fast. And that thing's awesome. It's got so much action. It is beautiful colors. And Googan, you killed it with this. I am so stoked to go fish this thing. Now we have the biggest out of the baits. This is a Headhunter licensed to gill swim bait. It is made by 10,000 Fish. You can get them on carls.com, and I'll put that in the description. And honestly, these things are super cool. Check this out. Let me get out of the package real quick. It is actually double packaged. Not only do they just look sick, okay, I mean, look at that. That is one of the coolest looking swim baits ever. They smell phenomenal. Whew, that is a beautiful smell. I almost want to eat this, but it's for the bass. It's not for me. Other sick thing about this is, look at this. This hook is completely weedless. It hides in that dorsal fin and makes it completely weedless. Also, you guys are familiar with line through swim baits. This is a type of swim bait that makes it easier for the bass to not throw the bait while it's shaking its head, because swim baits are heavy baits. That's a lot of weight thrown from side to side. It makes it easier for the hook to dislodge out of the bass's mouth. Line throughs detach from the hook and make it so the bass is only pulling on the hook, but you have to rig them a certain way. This swim bait, this Headhunter, has it already built in. So look right here. If I'm a bass and I bite onto that hook, boom, it comes up. It's actually magnetically attached. I don't know if you can see the magnets back there, but it is magnetically attached, and it makes it so it makes that bass harder to throw this swim bait. So talk about this color real quick. This is a licensed to gill color, bluegill. Although that is an awesome name for a color. Holy crap. This thing sold me so easily. But it's a bluegill color, and that goes back to what I mentioned earlier. Bluegill is a phenomenal color to be throwing in springtime. It's a type of forage that bass are switching to, and really it's just an all-around versatile bait. We all know bass love bluegill. They're bass candy. It's just that simple. This is a paddle tail swim bait. See this little tail? Womp, 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 womp. So really just steady crank this. It's obviously weighted. You can let it sink down a little bit and then just steady crank it in. You of course can do what I was talking about that change in reel speed or jerks to get a little more action. And I would fish it the same way I fish the glide bait, casting towards cover. This is actually a little bit more weedless, so I can get even closer to that cover, which is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for that. What an awesome looking bait. This thing looks sick. Like he means business, man. He means to catch fish. Now, if you want to know about how to throw these big swim baits or what's a good setup to start throwing these big swim baits or these glide baits, I actually have a video on that linked in right here. So, go check that out, and holy crap, this is going to be an awesome year of spring fishing on these brand new baits. To do a quick rewind on what we had the big Brucos from Gear for the Greatest. We then had the Googan Squad Junior Contender. You can get that on shopcarls.com. You can also get the 10,000 Fish Headhunter on shopcarls.com. And these are awesome baits. Gear for the Greatest, Googan Squad, 10,000 Fish are all fantastic companies that make some amazing baits. I'll put all their websites in the description so you can actually have easy access to them. And don't forget to subscribe. That is extremely appreciated to me, and there'll be more baits and more videos coming, of course. Thank you guys for watching, and have an amazing day. Happy fishing, y'all. Go check out Follow the Action.